I grew up believing that my father was a successful, charming, urbane businessman who tragically died of a heart attack. The truth, I discovered decades after his death, was very different.
Norman Morton Stewart was a fraudster, a bigamist, a smuggler and fugitive who'd been the subject of a notorious, much publicised pursuit by Interpol around the globe in 1953. So how did a life of privilege for a former medical student at Edinburgh University and officer in His Majesty's forces at Gallipoli morph into something so unbelievable? He consorted with mobsters in Chicago, joined the French Foreign Legion to escape the FBI, ran currency and smuggling rackets in post-war England, and eventually fled his native land after embezzling huge amounts of money. My book, The Rich Man, is my journey to attempt to understand it all. Along the way, I found out about the 3 previous wives he'd abandoned before my mother, about the extravagant spending and entertaining that made him the doyen of British society in the early 1950s, his extraordinary champagne-splashed flight around the world as he tried to avoid the police, as well as the time he spent in prison.
As a journalist, I spent something like 40 years delving into other people's truths. And yet the most important truth of all was the one that had remained hidden from me for all those years, the extraordinary story of my father's real life.